Hello, my little burritos. Welcome, welcome. We're going to be painting Robin Queen today. And I have no idea how this is going to go because I'm going to try something. I know I talk a lot about I want to loosen up my painting, so we're going to try that today. I wanted to do the crown and like the bird's eye and beak in like do it sharply, and then kind of the rest of the body. It's not really my strong suit though, so I'm not really sure what to do. I'm going to paint the crown last because I want to paint that like much more detailed. Okay. And then like, it's the eye. So it should come down here, and then the legs are going to be behind. So the legs are going to be here. And then the tail. Robin's tails don't swoop. It's going to come straight down here. So we should have legs here, tail here. Okay. And then am I going to want to, I think I might want a spray bottle for the bottom half. I suppose. Okay. Let's go to the mall. Okay. So for my orange, what are we going for there? Is that a... So I have a reference photo off to the side that you guys can't see. That's actually very beautiful. Little belly on you there, birdie. I'm just trying to decide what the, what color is that? Going Purple Scarlet and some new gamboge. It's much brighter than let's try some, I don't use a lot of buff titanium, but there it is. Oh, that's much better. That's much better. It's a nice, yeah, that's much better. Before it was like electric orange. Okay. And I need some black. We're gonna use Witch's Silk for our black. And I need some gray. Just want to do like a very washed out neutral tint. Let's do a very washed out neutral tint. For our gray, the beak is going to be yellow. I can leave that. That looks like a very pale Hansa Yellow Medium. Very pale Hansa Yellow Medium. Okay. 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 If I just keep saying okay, then it'll be okay. Oh, good. Yes, let's drop the brush directly on the paper before we even start. That's brilliant of me. Okay. Well, I think that's all the planning that I can do for one painting. Just gonna have to start now, I suppose. Depending how long this takes up top, we might have to spray that again, but we're gonna just do a one and done. We're just gonna paint with confidence, whether or not we feel it. We're just gonna paint with confidence. We can do this. It's just painting, right? I'm gonna use an even bigger brush. This is my size 16. This bird has a lot of white around its eye. I'm actually going to mix in some, or drop in some neutral tint along the way. In an effort to, what is it? The birds have like molted, is that the right word? And then once we get right about here, the dark black starts fading out, so we're gonna do the same. I'm gonna pick up some witch's silk and then just keep pulling this down, but now in a much more, and I wanna work quickly so that we don't and now we have like the feathers coming in. So we have some dark lines. Oh my goodness. I don't know how this is going. We're just gonna go with it. And then this, that's it. They just sort of, that's the wing. And then from under the wing, again, it's just a very washed out neutral tint just to have a different color here. We're gonna come right under here. Oh, I love that it's a different black, giving our bird some variation and a little, oh, was that too much? That's too much? Is that too much? It's probably too much. Come on. We're gonna go with that. That's lovely. I'm gonna have just a little more spray on our bird's tummy area. That's the official word, by the way, the tummy area. Okay, so our bird has this beautiful shading. Oh boy. Down here, we might be putting the legs in when this is all said and done. Beautiful shading down. Oh, yeah. Yep, okay, we're okay. Down here. Little belly. Not judging. I'm not judging. Trust me, I am not judging. I am not judging you. You are a beautiful bird. You're just ready for winter. That's all. Okay, I love some things that are happening over here. I know that I mixed that. I didn't mix much, did I? Okay, well, I'm just mixing up some more Primal Scarlet and New Gamboge. And it is electric color, so we're going to throw in some buff titanium. Oh, that is much better. Okay. And now we're here and here. And I don't even know that I'm going to need any more paint ever again in my life. Because that orange is just taking over, isn't it? Come on. Not going that way. We're coming. I don't want that to happen. Come on. Come on. Going this way, honey. That's much better. That is a puddle of water, isn't it? Let's try to drain off some of that. This is why you keep a paper towel around, my friends. This is kind of stressful. So this is a little stressful. Why do you want to go there? Let's just dry up that little, there, now it's dry. My light is just saying hello. Oh, I don't want you to go there. What part of me doing that was confusing? I don't want you there. I love the little beautiful spot you've made, but that's all that I need you to make, no more. I think I'm gonna let all of this settle down before I tackle the legs. You're just gonna keep spreading, aren't you? Why do you do this? I have this idea that the energy that people get out of your painting is the same energy that you put into the painting. So like a Jackson Pollock, then you would get like a lot of, you know, intense energy out of it. I don't know what you're gonna get out of this. Okay, we are gonna let everything dry. We're gonna cross our fingers that this little area settles down. I'm just trying to dry up any little sprays we had there to let it know that while we love what it's doing, we don't need more of it. We don't need more of it. Okay, be done. And then I'll do a super defined eye, beak, crown. Oh, what I'm going to do for the legs. Done for now. Hello, my little burritos. Welcome, welcome. Some time has passed. This is now dry. Okay. Still not sure what we're doing for the legs, but those are the legs. We're fine. All right. Now, I'm not sure how realistic we want to be because we do have a bird running around with a crown on its head, so I don't know that we need to be too particular, but I'm switching paintbrushes. Okay. Let's knock out the easy stuff first. Actually, where is my reference photo? I do love witch's silk, but it will reactivate if you even think about getting water near it, so I don't love that part of it. I don't love this section, but I'm loving this and this, so, and I love that we used two different blacks. And I love that we varied the black up here and then made sure to go gray there. Beautiful. Maybe I shouldn't have added that buff titanium because that gold, I mean the orange is not super bright. And I actually, I do need to add a little something down here because this goes here. It doesn't come up here. There's like a little part of the body there, but it's mostly white, so. Leave it just like that. There you go, bird body. Okay. I'm tempted to do like hyper realistic legs. No, I want to keep the hyper real. Well, I say hyper realism as if I'm about to paint the greatest crown of all time. It's probably not what's going to happen. We'll worry about the legs later. All right, so I want the eye to be a little bit darker black on the bottom than it is on top, just to show like, you know, that there's some dimension, and we'll add some dimension to that beak when it's dry. We're gonna let it dry first. So in order to do that for the eye, I'm gonna paint the whole eye. in a lighter black and then come back in later and finish it. We did all that with an 8, y'all. I'm telling you, these Princeton brushes keep a sharp point. They do not disappoint. No pun intended. Okay. On to the crown, which we will be doing in quinacridone gold because I love quinacridone gold. I love painting with it. I love everything about it. So I'm gonna do the whole crown. Am I gonna do the whole crown? No, I'm not gonna do the whole, am I gonna do the whole crown first and then go back in and do details? Or, I think that is the way I'm gonna do it. Okay, so let's activate that quinacridone gold. And we're gonna thin it out just a bit. Okay, I think I'm gonna paint the jewels and then go in once the jewels are dry and do some shading around the jewels and maybe around the crown a little bit more. Okay, the beak is still not dry because somebody went in really pale on that Hansa Yellow Medium. I can probably only blame myself for that. It's always a bummer when that happens, isn't it? When you're like, oh, this is terrible. Who can I blame? Oh, me. Yeah, what are you gonna do? Okay, so I would like a sky blue. What am I looking at here? I'm thinking I almost want do I have like a turquoise? I don't really do a lot of non-natural colors. It's not really my vibe. Don't tell me I need to get out that Prussian blue again. Ugh. I mean the phthalo blue, sorry, Prussian blue, I didn't mean you. Could do, I'm looking at my color chart. I could do, I don't know, I don't want to do green apatite because it'll separate. And I want smooth colors, which is, let's go with a different palette. I don't carry a lot of non-natural colors, so anytime I need one, I struggle. Alright, well let's look at this. I have these paints that I bought forever ago. They're called like White Russian or something, Russian Nights or something, I don't remember. Is it on the cover? St. Petersburg is the name of the company. Anyway, it's another reason that we swatch our colors. Could go emerald green. Could go yellow green. I like this yellow green. And turquoise blue. Let's go, yeah, I'm gonna go yellow, green, and turquoise blue, which is here, and 1, 2, 3. This is why we swatch, guys. This color, can you see this? This is the turquoise blue that is here. I would not know that had I not swatched. Okay, so in order to swatch these, or swatch, oh, brother, listen to me. In order to paint these, we're going to be doing this in, we're going to be doing a lot of painting and waiting, I think, for this. What is going on? Okay. Let's get this and this. All right, cool. And just to double check. Yeah. Okay, cool. So let's mix this up over here. Well, a lot of water. I don't always pre-dilute something. I just sort of pick up some pigment and then pick up some water and call it a day. But if I want consistency in that color, then I need to make a little blob and mix it with water. There, that's what we want. Okay, it's just gonna be our first coat, first layer. And we're not even gonna do all of it. We're going to imagine this is cut into fourths. We're gonna do 2 sides really light, or two sections really light, and then 1 section dark, and then leave the other one white. Try to give it some dimension and some sunlight coming in from the side. And then we're gonna do leave a little spot of white in the center of this, in hopes that we're showing that it also has a point. I suppose we can tackle the feet while that's too big of a point. All right. Ditto back here. We're going to leave a little white triangle. Try to show some dimension. We might have too much pigment on there for our first layer. We're going to do the same thing here. We're just going to try to leave a little white point on there. All right. The other ones, I imagine, are like, they're leaf shaped. That one's more of a diamond. They're supposed to be leaf shaped. So it might be a little bit easier because I think we'll only have to do 2 coats to show like that there's two halves, but we're gonna do the same thing. I'm just gonna make a little puddle of pigment up here on my palette and then dilute it on the palette for consistency. Check my color, that's very bright. It's still really bright, but it's pretty bright color, so. All right, we're actually gonna paint the whole, I might leave a little white slice on some of them. I don't think I can. All right, we're gonna let that crown dry. I think we got a little bit of bleeding right there, which I do not want. Not today, little jewels. Okay, I can fix the eye though and the beak, as long as we're here and we're painting stuff. Okay. I'd love to go back and figure out how much time I spent on the body versus the rest of this. Okay, I actually want a little bit of bleeding right here on this beak. And then it will come in later and do an actual, like, more defined line. But that'll give us some shading for the lower beak and like where the mouth curves in for the division. All right, still need to finish those jewels, do some more shading on the crown, and then we gotta decide what to do for the legs, y'all. But we gotta let those greens dry. They are quite juicy, my friends. All right, I need to see. All right, here are our bird legs. They breaking the wing should be here. After the feathers here. So we would have like here. And then here. And then pretty much starts at that angle, doesn't it? Birds have these crazy angles in their legs. And then this is somehow going here. It should be here. This goes here to here. Okay. It's almost it's a weird color. What color is that? All right, we're gonna do a mixed brown. You know how I feel about that, but I think it's appropriate in some cases, like this one. I'm gonna mix Green Apatite and Quinacridone Rose. Green Apatite is heavily granulating, so but we're gonna try to keep it juicy. That might be a bit too much. Is that a bit too much? It's a tiny bit too much Quinacridone Rose. There we go. Okay. I don't know. I don't know what we're doing. This makes me nervous because this is it. We've done a decent job so far. These legs might make or break it. Okay. What do we want to spray the leg? Do we want? think we need loose, but not spready. Is that the right word for it? Oh, I know what I'll do. I'm going to paint it and then come back in with a brush next to it. Okay. So we're not going to freak out. We're just going to go from there to here. And then here. And then here. And then we're going to do that several more times. Here. Here. Yep. And then we need another one. It's going to come over here with that. That's it. That's all I'm going to do. And that. And then I'm going to make this one not as dark because it's going to be in the front. Same thing here. Two. Back here. And oh. That's the worst talon I've ever seen. Okay. Yep. I'm just going to come in next to it. A little bit of water. Not a lot, just a little tiny bit. And then when this is completely dry, I'll come back in and do a tiny bit of shading. And then I don't really know what to tell you for the there. Okay. Those are not the best legs I've ever seen. Should we move them up a little bit? They're actually pretty far back on the bird. Maybe I did put them back a little too far, but no, in the picture they're actually closer to the transition point than I put them. He does look top heavy though, doesn't he? He looks like he's gonna fall over. Probably from the crown, it's so heavy. If anything, I put them too far forward on the bird. I'm not a bird expert, y'all. Hello, my little burritos. Welcome, welcome. Okay. Took a while for that green to dry. Somebody put a lot of water in there. Find out who. I will have words with them. But in the meantime, let's finish up the jewels, the beak. I think I might leave those legs alone. The more I look at them, the more I think they're okay. They seem so far back, but I think they're actually fine. I might do a little shading just to, am I gonna do shading? Oh, I'll do shading underneath, how's that? Okay, let's work on these jewels. Okay, we're gonna let all of that dry. And then I'm gonna go around the jewels and do some more shading on the crown. I think we do our shading on ye old feet right now. We're done with this. Okay, I'll let those jewels dry. Almost done, guys. Welcome, welcome. We're on the home stretch. I realized I forgot to make a dividing line on that beak. So let's do that before I forget again. Okay, I want to do a little quinacridone gold around each of the jewels. And then, oops. All right, that's what we're gonna do. A little quinacridone gold around each of the jewels. Do I have a 4? I do. Let's use that. I'm sorry, who does not love quinacridone gold? I'm serious. Look at that. Whoops, oops, 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 oops. Way too much water. Are we done? I think we might be done.